Have you ever wondered if it was possible that some concept so mechanically stupid could exist that it transcends the levels of usual internet retardation? That something could not only be garbage, but be good at being garbage as well? That something could be professional garbage? I hate to say it, my 12 viewers, but this threat to the integrity of PC games is not only prevalent already, it's spreading. This highly advanced genre that I speak of is free-to-play, pay-to-win games. Hey everybody, I'm Thomas Flash, and as you can tell by the introduction, we're going to be talking about those free-to-play games that always somehow make you end up paying triple the times of a full game by the time you're actually finished playing them. The worst part about this is that most of these games aren't actually terrible. Don't get me wrong, a lot of these games are flash games, made with a production value of an astonishing $0, but it seems that some great games are plagued by this principle as well. One of the most famous examples is Wizard 101. It had fairly decent graphics for its time, a compelling story, and good gameplay with interesting variation. As a standalone concept, Wizard 101 is a good game that advertises itself as free-to-play. But when in the game, you'll start to notice something. Other players have better decks than you, and cards, and just simply overall a better chance in progressing in the game than you do, simply because they have items that are purchase only. When this kind of system is implemented into a game, it's problematic because it can take away from the skill factor. When you're terrible at a game but you can just buy your way to the top, why wouldn't you? In Wizard 101, this principle heavily applies. In duels, players may use the most OP, purchase-only cards to climb the ladder. In fact, it's actually impossible to progress after the first world in Wizard 101 because you need to pay a certain amount of credits or be a member in order to actually travel to the second world, as of my time playing the game. Of course, this could have changed considering that I haven't played the game in around 7 years, but my point still stands. Free-to-play games so heavily reliant on microtransactions to the point of limiting content from players to advance others in the game is just plain cheap. It's like if someone playing with water guns in the park purchased a water hose and just started mowing down everyone because they had the money to. All bad analogies aside, I'm not saying free-to-play games with microtransactions in general are bad. A free game, League of Legends, is probably one of my favorite games to date, no matter how trash of an ADC I am. I enjoy the game because of how it's easy to learn but hard to master, and there's no real shortcut to that. You can't buy skill in the game and you can't buy a rank, obviously. Can you shut the fuck? The major microtransactions in the game are for skins, a purely aesthetic item. I bought Blood Moon Jin because he looked cool, not to give me a very obvious advantage over other players. No part of the game forced me to buy that skin if I wanted to get good. I had to get good on my own. Now, whether I've actually done that is up for debate. Hey, so, I'm good at League of Legends, right?
Oh, not this shit again. Well, I mean, a 2-year-old could beat you.
But I'm good, right?
No, not really, no.
But the point still stands, that League of Legends is a free-to-play game that doesn't force microtransactions on the player if they want to do good in the game, and play to the full of their ability. If free-to-play games simply included these types of purchases, I really don't think this problem would exist. But sadly, it doesn't work as simply as just cutting every single transaction from a game. Free-to-play games, especially MMOs, have to have some sort of income or some way to keep up their servers, otherwise they'd be developing it or running it at a loss. To make money on their game, they can either put ads on it or riddle it with microtransactions. And I hate to say it, but if you're playing a free game without ads, someone's paying for it. And if you don't like it, you don't have to be on their servers, because somebody who's willing to pay will. They won't kick you off, but they'll certainly favor the person who's gonna pay $30 for 9 trillion extra coins. Clash of Clans generated $569 million just last year in revenue, whereas Super Mario Maker Wii U only generated an estimated $230 million since its release. Microtransactions are definitely profitable, which is why many developers would advertise their game as free. You'd get more players, and when more players are on your game and like it, they're willing to pay up a little to step up their game. And thus, the paradox is completed. All in all, free-to-play games that hold back content with microtransactions are not fun for the player without such a flexible wallet. The reason why it exists is to generate more revenue from a game advertised as free to gain even more money than releasing it at retail price would give them. Many good games like Wizard 101 and Clash of Clans are held by this pay-to-win mentality. In my opinion, it would be so much better if the games were just Sold at a reasonable price? Nah. I think actually selling a game takes too much effort, and, you know, an actual game to be sold. Let's just make a free gimmick that all people have to pay to be decent at. Well, that's all for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, be sure to drop a like down below, and as always, don't forget to smash that squishy red subscribe button and hit that notification bell. Have you ever seen any terrible or good free-to-play games that fit in this description? Comment down below, and I'll see what you think. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.